Now that Modern Warfare 2 has launched, we can finally talk about how different Battlefield and COD is in their launch periods. Now, obviously, with Vanguard, that was a complete write-off. I did not buy that game completely, not interested. But with Modern Warfare 2, I have made the purchase, and I am enjoying it so far. Currently grinding out cameras for my rocket launchers. The main difference between the state of the games right now is Modern Warfare 2 is a bug-ridden mess with a decent backbone. Battlefield 2042 was a bug-ridden mess with no backbone. There's no good game to fall back on at the moment for Battlefield 2042 as we were playing it. Very boring one where you could fly your hovercraft up buildings, which some would actually argue is a fun part of the game because of just how ridiculous it was. With Modern Warfare 2, barely play in parties because we get kicked all the time, have to deal with a ton of crashes, and sometimes it's just really random, like you just get thrown into a random lobby where you only have a machine gun. The game is not perfect, Modern Warfare 2, but I'm really enjoying it right now. And with Battlefield 2042, it just wasn't my thing personally. I don't know about you. Really liked it from the second you started playing it. For me, it wasn't my thing. Modern Warfare 2 is my thing right now, and that's quite surprising because I haven't really been as addicted to a COD, I'd say, since World War II, Call of Duty World War II. I was kind of in Modern Warfare, but not too much. Like, Call of Duty World War II is a really weird game to get into. Basically, I really enjoyed the war mode when I was younger, and I played that like 99% of the time because I found that really fun. It just comes to show what happens. They both had the same amount of time too. They both had 3 years. Both had 3 years to create a game, so it's not like it's a different amount of time. Now, you can definitely argue Call of Duty is a much bigger franchise and has a lot more developers working on it. Fair enough, that is true. There's also about 50 port studios back of the bloody case, so it's not like they're same size teams. But Battlefield is a massive franchise and DICE is a massive company, so I'm not expecting the same level of content. And we're already looking at like Season 1 for Modern Warfare 2. And Season 1, they're already talking about having brand new raids. They're going to have DMZ. They're going to have Warzone 2 coming out. They're going to have some multiplayer maps. They're going to have some special ops maps. They're going to have new weapons, new battle pass. That's like 15 more things than whatever the hell Battlefield 2042 offered in their first season. One map, one specialist, one vehicle on each side, new weapons. It's not really amazing numbers of content that's coming out, and it really comes to show when push comes to shove, and when you're trying to keep an ongoing player base, you have to keep pumping out new content. That's just how games work. You want to hold your audience, can't keep making them play the same old thing. And that's why I feel like Battlefield 2042 has really struggled. Like, I'm so bored with all those maps, and I've barely played that much for Battlefield 2042. It doesn't help that most of the maps are not memorable. There's also not enough maps. They should really be aiming with plenty of maps in, which I know is not easy because you're having to play for 120 players when Ground War only does 32 v 32. But if you're not ready to do 64 v 64, then don't do it. Because it came out for Breakthrough with 64 v 64, and then they've rolled it back because it's too chaotic. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. So I don't think people would be all up in tears if it was still only 64 players. Now, no one's going to thank DICE for that and say, oh, what a great addition, 64 players. We've had it for the last 10 years. But it's not like anyone's going to sit there and make that the reason why they don't want to play the game. That's never the reason. It's just like, oh, that's cool. I have 100 players playing with me. Well, if 64 players meant that they had more time to work on the campaign and work on more maps for the game, then they should have done that. So with COD, once they get through some more patches, I say after a month, the game's going to be nice and stable and mainly bug-free. There's of course overpowered weapons, and you have to deal with Call of Duty players who like to camp a lot and use the most meta guns ever made. And as someone on the ammo grind, I don't get that option. I'm going through the worst weapons that I can. I'm having some good fun with that. But I want to play Call of Duty. I already have more hours on Call of Duty than I have on Battlefield 2042. I have like 40 hours on COD and I have like 39 hours on Battlefield. So it's not really a competition. I'm addicted to Modern Warfare 2 right now, and I will play Battlefield 2042 for gameplay. That's just how it is, really. And it's sad because I feel like most of us were really excited when Battlefield 2 came out, and maybe for those who hardcore Battlefield fans, it would have been nice to watch Modern Warfare 2 shoot themselves in the foot, but they haven't. They've done the opposite. They've captured the marketplace, and now Ground War is coming out, and Ground War is good fun. It's still in its early modes. Like, there wasn't too much progression from Modern Warfare to Ground War. I really like the transport helicopter feature they added in the game, but it's still in its early form. It would be really interesting to see if they went all head in and head first to try and compete with Conquest and try and capture that marketplace, because I believe that although Call of Duty has its Call of Duty-ness with its like kill streak, that it can add its own flair to the Conquest zone. I was also surprised that we didn't see any breakthrough, because in Call of Duty Cold War they did have the breakthrough mode, albeit it was I believe 20v20, but they did have the breakthrough mode, which I like breakthrough. It's my favorite mode that Battlefield has, just because of how condensed it is, the warfare is. I like that part. So I'm very interested to see where they go, both the games, and as we get longer into both games periods, we can see how they're doing compared to each other, look at Steam numbers and all that. But right now, Modern Warfare 2 is taking cake, even with all its issues with the bugs and crashing, and is still taking the cake, while Battlefield 2042 is stuck digging out of the trash. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. Are you a Battlefield player that doesn't really play COD and decided to grab Modern Warfare 2, or not interested in Modern Warfare? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next.